Hi guys, welcome back to my page. So the reason why I have not told this story I said I wanted to tell since was because I had to confirm from her parents, her mom specifically, if the story was true. And I spoke to the senior sister that it happened to, or the senior sister that discovered it, or should I say the sister that everything started from. You get? So let's get into the story. But before I continue, I would like to point out something. Please, if you don't believe in something, that doesn't mean that thing does not exist. Do you get? Somebody like me, I believe in spiritual aspect of life, but when it comes to the deep ones, I used to have my doubts. So most of the time, I tend to doubt stuffs like that. But let's continue. So we are going to be omitting some part and then switching up the names because of privacy sake. Let's get into the story, Sha. Let's call this girl Kate. Kate was schooling in a university in Abia State. She was in 300 level. Then she decided to leave the hostel and go off K. When she got off K, she was looking for a roommate and somebody that they are going to be staying together. And then she found this girl. Let's call her Peace. Peace was in 100 level. That is, Peace was a new student. Why Kate, now that the thing happened to, was in 300 level. They were staying together. Everything were fine. They were normal roommates until second semester of that session. Second semester came and Peace was preparing for her senior sister, that is her elder sister. Let's call her Franca. Peace was preparing for Franca's introduction because apparently Franca got pregnant and then they decided to rush the wedding and everything. So she was preparing for Franca's introduction slash traditional marriage. Closing to when she was going to travel for the traditional marriage now, she posted on her status her sister and her boyfriend. That is Franca and her boyfriend. Let's call the boy Okay. So she posted Franca and Okay's pre-wedding picture on her status. And that was when her roommate saw Okay for the first time. When she viewed the status, she said it was as if somebody poured cold water on her. So she quickly asked her roommate that, where do you guys know this boy from? Her roommate was not like, her roommate that is her roommate that is Peace. And said, this guy is my sister's boyfriend and he's the one getting married to my sister because of, that's why I'm traveling home now. You get? She was not like, this guy looks very familiar. This guy looks like my late brother. Peace was not like, your late brother. Hey, yeah, maybe somebody that look alike. You know that there are people double, how dare to call them double ganga, being a double duba. I don't know, but there's, they say there's two people everywhere. Somehow, one person resembles one person. But Kate was not still convinced because the guy looked exactly like her brother. Everything. There was no even to they said the guy had birthmark one side on his neck. Even to the birthmark, everything was the same. So that was when she started her suspicion. That was when she started being suspicious of everything. Kate was still telling Peace that no, this guy looks too much like my brother for him to be like another person that just looked like him. At least there should be a close resemblance, but this was like as if he's a photocopy of my brother. That was what Kate was telling Peace, and Peace was now beginning to think Kate was a weird person. Do you get? Days passed now, and Kate was already telling her family that this guy that this my roommate posted saying that's the guy that wants to get married to her sister. This guy is okay. And the family was like, maybe somebody that's just look like him. Then she screenshotted the status and sent it to her sibling to show her mom. They say when the mom saw the picture, the mom peed on her body. Like the woman urinates for body. Do you get? So she was not like, no, Kai, this is her son. Now mother's instinct or something. That's what she said. She said that she could not sleep in the night. She was thinking that this boy is her boy. So she now told Kate to tell her roommate that she should invite her over for the introduction and the traditional marriage, so that she will come there to see by herself. Maybe truly the guy just looks like her brother. And then Peace agreed. So when Peace gave them the invitation and the location and everything, and then she traveled. She should not even think it as anything deep. She was just thinking that maybe Kate was overreacting, or maybe the guy just really looked like her brother and she was missing her brother. So Kate and her family, some of her family members decided to go down to the place where the wedding was happening, where the traditional marriage and introduction was happening. They arrived earlier than the normal guests, and then Kate's parents, Kate and her people, they sat down now, and Peace came to greet Kate and the rest. So the mom was now, that is Kate's Peace mom was now asking Peace that why did these people come early now? Do they know anybody there? They said that. So Peace now told her people that she invited her roommates, Kinikon, and they were coming from far. That's why they came early. So the guests started arriving, party already started, the rest like that, but they were waiting for the groom. Groom did not come. The groom came very late. So after some time now, they said the groom have come, the groom have come. So she said that she and her mom, that is Kate and her mom and her sibling, stood up to go to the place that they say the groom just arrived. She said when her mom got there, the guy was coming out, that is the okay was coming out from the car, and then her mom and all of them looked at each other, and the mom was looking at the groom, that is okay, and was shouting his name, okay, okay, okay. They say that is how the guy turned and looked at them and did as if he did not see them and enter inside the car back. They opened the car now, there was nobody inside. Like the guy literally vanished inside the car. The guy vanished. They were searching for the guy. They looked around, looked everywhere, and that was where the real cry started. This story is already getting too long, so please, I tried to fit everything into one part, but I don't think it's going to be too long. So please like and follow me for part 2. I'm dropping part 2 immediately.
Se nkoma ye tie eye wo da wada roma bomodien se ubemie adekoko ne so subscribe button no like video no kire wadwene e wo comment section no ase ne like video no eno ni ade a mo betimi di aboa dwumadi a ye di no e true stories Caesar show mumie nto nkomo ne so hit.
This is the continuation of how I found out my roommate's sister's boyfriend was my late brother. If you have not watched the part 1, please go to my page and watch it so that you understand clearly. Alright, let's continue. So they started searching everywhere now. They searched under the car, outside the car, inside the car. Some people were arguing because crowd already started gathering, and people started arguing that no, maybe it was another person that came out of the car, or maybe it was not him. Blah 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 blah. But the mother and the sister, that is the people that were present when he came out from the car, knew what they saw. Franca, the bride in question, was already inside her room getting ready. So she did not really know what was going on outside, but she started hearing commotion and people were coming outside. That is the wedding, like everything just started to scatter. Small, they come. Okay's mom started rolling on the floor. People were trying to hold her. Everybody was asking, what's the problem? But nobody knew what the problem was. Only them that saw it at that time. And that was where the roommate's Peace actually found out that what Kate was saying was actually true. So Franca's mom now took Kate and her family inside the house for them to talk about it and like really find out what was really happening. So when they got inside now, Kate said she and her mom and the people that came with them, that is some of her siblings now started explaining that this guy that got their daughter pregnant, that is okay, that got their daughter pregnant, died 3 years ago, and as they are talking to them now, the grave is still in his father's compound. People were finding it hard to believe, but they just felt that how will this old woman that they don't know from anywhere just come and spoil a wedding, and like you get things were already pointing at the direction that what they are saying might actually be true. So the father of the bride, that is Franca's dad, now requested that okay, they should put everything on hold and then they should follow Kate and her family to the house to go and see the place that they buried him. Before then, they started showing pictures that is from the phone. They started showing Kate and her family pictures of okay, their pre-wedding photo, everything. They confirmed that yes, this is actually okay that died. They said no, let them wait for some time. Maybe the guy will show up. Hours later, the guy still did not show up. So they started asking Franca that where did you meet this okay boy in question from? How did you find out that he doesn't, that he's not normal? Kate said she never suspected anything, that he told her that he was, that okay told her that he was an orphan and that he was Unwa boy that ran away from his Oga's side. I don't know if you understand Unwa boy. You know all these people that used to like do boy for, sell something like their apprentice somewhere. Do you get? So that's what he told Franca, But the guy had friends, like normal friends. The guy had, people around him aside family member. He said he was an orphan and he was the only child. So that was why Kate said she did not suspect anything. Sorry, that was why Franca said she did not suspect anything. Moving on. So they decided to pause everything on hold and then travel down with Kate and her family to see actually if what they were saying was true. So they went there now to Kate's family's place, and then they started bringing out pictures. This old photo album. They brought out everything, explained everything, because the OK in question died by accident. Yes, his body was brought home to his family's place and he was buried. Like the grave was there. Let us not make this story too long. I'll just be cutting parts so that we don't make it over long. The wedding was stopped and everything was placed on hold, like I said earlier. And this took months of, digging, finding out, blah, blah, blah. They reached out to all his friends. That's Franca reached out to all his friends that know him. None of them have seen him. His number was not going, everything. They had to travel down to where the guy was staying. Like, let's give example now, but the guy was born and raised in, let's say, Abia State, and the guy relocated to somewhere like Meduguri to go and live. Not relocated. The guy, like, he was born and raised in Abia State, right? Then the guy, when he died, he now moved to somewhere like Meduguri. I don't know how to explain it, but that was the distance between the place he was buried and the place that he was found. So they moved down to his apartment after months later now, like after, going back and forth, the whole situation, they moved down to his apartment. They said when they got to his apartment, everywhere was covered with cobwebs, as if nobody ever lived there. Like the whole place was dusty and covered with cobwebs, like nobody was ever there. That was when it now dawned on Franca and her family that truly the guy was a ghost, or should I say, as Yoruba people will call it, Akudaya. And because of tradition and everything, the Oke's family now had to, like, do the burial, like rebury again. Not that they dug the guy out and bury him again. No, they just, like, did burial again, like they buried the guy again. And that was how everything ended. I actually asked the girl if the baby survived. Okay, he gave belle now. He gave Franca belle. So I asked the sister if the baby survived and everything. She said yes, the baby is alive and hale and hearty. Abia they speak the English. The baby is alive and doing well. Yes. Before I forget, they also paid Franca's bride price in full and everything like that. And they asked her that she can go away if she wants, or she can, still be close to the family, whatever like that. They said the girl fell sick that she almost died with her pregnancy. She fell so sick that she almost died. Anyway, that is the end of our story. Somebody also reached out to me to share a very crazy story on how a neighbor threw a woman threw her neighbor's child into the well. Like and follow me for this story. Thank you.
Wiase mu nsɛm ɛdɔɔso abusua. We die ya abrabo mu nkomo. Afutu sem wada roma. Subscribe. We die mu amasuma mu amatie mu befa mu aba na mo nso de abomo bra. Yenka so bijuma bone a odi ye no. Anase no ma bia nkoye ama no no. Fa saa kwa ne so. There be the story Caesar story the bremo said there abrabo mu nsɛm no ma nkoye mu nso mefa mu aba. Educative stories na yen so ye de aboye bra. Ye bibifo die. Anwade nko a na kyerɛ sɛ esie oba sɛ de make na wada roma. Dwumadie yi de mbetimi aya ne sɛ mon subscribe, mon like, mon kyerɛ ma adwene ewo comment section no ase. Yeda mase bebrebe wo hwe video no, wo like ya, wo share ya, wo kyerɛ wa adwene ewo comment section ase. We love you guys. Yedom bebrebe, yedim besia. Bye bye.